welcome to my video on how to stock a healthy pantry. So I'm just going to run through the essentials of the whole foods that I love to have on hand, and they make my life a lot easier. I noticed recently during the whole COVID epidemic, I actually haven't been shopping any differently. So I think shopping like this, while at the moment it will be really beneficial because it will mean you can minimize how often you're going to the shops. It will also give you a sense of security because you know that if you do have to go into quarantine at some point, then you've got everything you need. So sending love out to all of you at the moment. It's a really hard time, and that's why I wanted to make this series, basically to help in any way that I can. Hello, if you don't know me, I'm Lucia. Welcome to my YouTube channel and my pantry, aka favorite room in the house. This is going to be video 1 of a series I'm making called Nourishing Know. The first video, I'm going to chat you through the essentials that I keep in the pantry at all times. Second video, we'll dive into the fridge. Third video, freezer. And fourth video will be on my kitchen appliances that I couldn't live without. You'll learn how to save time in the kitchen, how to eat nutrient-dense meals, to save money, and also to just enjoy the process, take the stress out of it. I'm just gonna jump into what my top 11 foods are that I always have on hand. So number 1 is eggs. So the humble little egg. I love eggs so much. They are nature's multivitamin, and they're just such a good, easy source of protein and nutrients when you need them. So for time-poor people, eggs are going to be your friend. 2 is cans and jars. So I love to have sardines on hand. They're a really good source of omega-3 and delicious protein. So these ones are good fish sardines, so they're sustainable, but any ones will do. Just make sure you get the ones in olive oil. Other canned goods we like are things like curry paste. I do try to make my own, but it is nice to have a little can of it or a jar of it on hand when needed. We also use coconut cream, tomato paste, and canned tomatoes. So number 3, sweeteners. So my favorite natural sweeteners are honey, maple syrup, and coconut sugar. Okay, so 4 is gluten-free flour, grain, and legumes. So when it comes to flours, my top 3 would be almond meal, tapioca flour, and teff. So teff's a bit more uncommon, but I love it. It's kind of like the gluten-free equivalent of rye flour. The other ones that I like to use as well are things like quinoa flour and buckwheat flour, as well as blue corn flour. When it comes to whole grains, I love things like buckwheat, quinoa, white rice, red rice. I don't eat that many legumes, but when I do, I like things like chickpeas, lentils, and beans. 5 is nuts, seeds, and dried fruit. If I just had to choose 3, I'd definitely choose almonds, sunflower seeds, and dates. They're just kind of the basics. However, I love having a whole variety of different things, like even dried mango. Definitely not essential, but definitely delicious. When it comes to nuts, I also like to have cashews and walnuts, and if you're feeling fancy, macadamias. Number 6 is oils, vinegars, and sauces. It's great to have plenty of healthy fats in your pantry, so I like to use things like ghee and olive oil, as well as lard and sesame oil. We use apple cider vinegar mostly, but I also like to have white rice vinegar as well. So I love to have gluten-free soy on hand, so sometimes I use tamari or coconut amino, something like that. We use fish sauce. It's a great way to add some umami, and if you think it tastes fishy, then you're using too much, so just use less, and I promise it will add heaps of flavor to your dish. 7 is nut butter. I love nut butter, and it is so delicious. Put it in chocolate, put it on toast, put it in everything. Number 1 nut butter would have to be almond butter. Number 8 is like emergency packet food. I don't like to buy these foods too often, just because I don't like getting things in plastic, and they're not like the healthiest foods to eat all of the time. However, they're not going to be the end of the world either, and it's just so nice to have something comforting and easy. They are rice noodles. I love chucking them in a broth-based meal with some greens and an egg. Also rice paper rolls, so they're really good. You can have fresh rice paper rolls or even fry them as well. You can make gluten-free dumplings. I do love to make my own crackers, but when I don't have time, it's awesome just to have those organic rice crackers on hand, just like the rice cakes. They're probably my go-to just because they don't have any yucky oils in there at all. And of course, you've got to have some gluten-free pasta. Just make sure you're getting a good quality gluten-free pasta with just whole food ingredients. Number 9 is fruit and veggies. So I love to have things like sweet potato, onion, garlic, ginger, lemons, and fruit on hand in the pantry at all times. 10, herbal tea. I love herbal tea. It feels like such a little treat to go. I've got like a little tea box and I can just go in there and just pick out whatever I feel like having. So my top favorites would definitely be matcha, as well as peppermint tea, lemon myrtle tea, dandelion chai, or general just regular black tea chai as well. It's definitely worth investing in a couple of nice teas because it just feels like such a nice thing to treat yourself with that's actually really healthy as well. Number 11, the lucky last one, has definitely got to be herbs and spices. It's nice to have fresh herbs and spices on hand. We generally buy the whole spices in bulk and then we just grind them up and make up little jars like this. We have all of our spices in a little basket like this, and it's so nice because you can just grab it out and put it on the bench. The types of things that I like to have are cumin, coriander, turmeric, garam masala, like nutmeg, and Italian herbs as well. And don't forget the chili and cinnamon and cayenne pepper. Alright babes, you have made it to the end of my video. Thank you for sticking around. Please share this video with your friends. I'm going to put on screen at the moment basically a summary of all the foods that I talked about. I did talk about a lot, so I'm just going to condense it to the essentials. If you want to go to the shops right now and purchase some of these whole foods, this is what I wouldn't live without. This is what works for me and it might not work for you, so definitely important to take into account what you like and what has worked for you in the past. The next video, we're going to be jumping into my fridge and learning about all of the fresh goodness that I like to keep on hand. So if you don't want to miss out on that video, make sure you hit the bell while you're there. Please like this video if you actually liked it, and subscribe as well. Alright, see you later guys. Thanks so much for watching. See you in the next one. That's the end. Oil, vinegar, sauces. My second YouTube video.